Hey everybody, and welcome to Stock Abilities. I'm going to be covering stimulus updates. I'm not going to go too much into detail about it, just kind of the briefs of what happened over the weekend. The short answer is they were trying to pass a $1.8 trillion bill, the Republicans to the Democrats. Essentially, ultimately, that ended up being a denial. She rejected it. They're kind of still in negotiation, so nothing's canceled yet. But the bill that they were trying to pass does not appear to want to go through. The last thing that the Democrats have proposed and passed to the House was basically 2.2 trillion in additional spending into the economy. Basically, the reason the 1.8 didn't pass is it doesn't have all her bloated extra stuff in there. So we're going to see how that progresses and go from there. Essentially, just a little bit of a breakdown of what the Republicans tried to pass here. That both parties were in agreement for the main one here is the stimulus checks, which seems to be no matter what's going to pass, that's going to pass through. So a lot of you should expect that. It seems like they're just going to go with the same amount across multiple bills. The only one skinny bill had that not included, but everything else was. The airlines thing, they both seem to be on the side of. So these are the two main things that are likely going to pass no matter what. So if you have airline stocks, if you have defense stocks, if you have any like non-tech cruise line stocks, things like that, those would be good to hold on to until this deal is made because they're going to continue to hype up these particular bills. So you're going to have a lot of volatility, but these are likely going to see just a continued rise on the week to week and month to month into the end of the year. And I feel that they can go up a lot higher than they currently are sitting at. But this is just a breakdown of all the ones that they last proposed. 300 billion to state and local governments, unemployment insurance, 400 per week. Pelosi was pushing for more, like 600 a week, so they might meet in the middle for like 500. You got the liability protection for businesses. And I already covered these two here, the 1,200 and 20 billion for airlines. PPP loans, they're kind of on the side with as well, but it seems the amounts are pretty broad in regards to what they want comparative to what the Republicans want. You got minority lending here, 10 billion. Testing, tracing, vaccines, and healthcare providers, 175 billion. Education, 150 billion. Student loan forgiveness, 25. Food assistance, 15 bill. Child care, 25 billion. Postal service, 10 billion. Employee retention tax credit, 91 billion. Lodging industry, 20 billion. Broadband, 15 billion. Pelosi said the administration's proposal lacks a strategic plan to contain the spread of the virus and has inadequate funding for state and local governments as well as financial relief for families. That's kind of ironic because she's trying to pass a lot of bloated stuff through a bill, and she's not really highlighting that. But yeah, basically, she wants more of like a 600 per week, which is kind of a positive comparative to what the Republicans are looking for. But honestly, I feel that the 400 per week is more reasonable, considering the fact that the more you pay out for unemployment, the less motivated someone's going to want to come back to their day job. So you're paying someone 600 a week. How much are they making at their day job? Is it close to that? Is it less than that? Or I feel that there should be some kind of varying degree based on what they were making in their job before getting fired comparatively to what they're going to get paid. Some people are actually getting paid more for unemployment than they actually made at their day job, which is fascinating. So that's something to keep in mind. The other latest update here is Munchin basically said we're going to increase the stimulus offer potentially, but we're not really sure on that. Kudlow also reported that they'd be thrilled with 20% second half economy rebound. U.S. recovery does not depend on the stimulus. The stimulus talks expect to continue in the days ahead. A last statement he really made was that he says that they're going to work for the next 3 weeks straight up until elections, basically, but he doesn't feel that anything's going to pass. Uh, President Trump on Fox is having a hard time with Pelosi on stimulus talks. And the only other update is that Trump says he's free and clear of essentially the virus. He says he's immune, things like that. Looks like I am immune, is what he said to Fox News. He also said that he tested positive, negative for COVID next week. And or last week, Trump is right to want a larger stimulus package, according to Graham, and then Senate can easily confirm Barrett before the election. Not a lot else going on in that regard. Market made a big jump on the anticipation of a stimulus. It didn't really break down. I honestly feel that it's more the fact that the bond market is closed on Monday, something to keep in mind for your guys trading, that there won't be much of an influence through the bond market, so market might take a bit of a hit into the open, but honestly, it's looking like more of a breakout pattern, at least on QQQ, with a straight up here, and then it looks like a consolidation to just run up and spike. But we'll see what happens into the coming days here. I don't see them breaking back below the moving averages. They put a lot of effort into swing right back up to it, and then the last testing of the moving averages, they bounced pretty strongly off of that. You might see a little bit of a cool off, but we'll see what happens into the days to come here. Next week on the overall, I'm pretty bullish. I'm expecting kind of maybe a bit of a downturn or sideways without the bond market interference, since it's closed all day on Monday. Canada, I believe, is closed on Monday too. I don't think that Canada will have all that much of an impact on the markets. China was only recently getting back from their holiday, and the US without the bond market. So I feel that it might be more of like a week or a sideways day tomorrow, but I guess we'll see what happens. But a short answer is Pelosi is the one at this point seemingly to be holding things back. They're going back and forth, arguing on a lot of things. Trump tried to, at least based on his Twitter, tried to get people to sign up or get people to sign off on the 1,200 stimulus just as just a standalone bill. Even though Pelosi agreed to that just the week before, but not as a standalone bill. Now she's not agreeing to it at all. It says that we need a bigger stimulus package, blah, blah, blah. Uh, for whatever the reason, it doesn't seem to matter where she agrees to it one week and then the next week she doesn't, because it doesn't have that bloated stuff attached to it. But this is, of course, just my opinion and from what I've interpreted. But she did literally say, even with the airlines, the standalone bill with airlines and PPP, she was all for it. I recall that because I hold the DeFon and I hold some other ETFs in regards to airlines and things like that, like jets. And they all spiked up on her saying that statement. So I remember it very clearly that she mentioned that she's for the PPP thing and she's for the airlines thing, but now she's against it because it doesn't have a more bloated bill attached to it. But that's not what she was saying the week before. So that's all politics. That's just how it works with the stock market. But essentially, they want to do direct payments and then maybe not do the direct payments, but overall it seems that most bills seem to include those direct payments, so I think they're more both on the side of that. Covered that a little bit earlier, but I think that's about all I wanted to mention in this video. These are at least all the latest updates that I'm aware of as of I'm doing this video, so if anything comes out on Sunday night or Monday morning, obviously it's not going to be included in this video. But thanks for listening, guys. Comment below your own inputs, and I'll see you later on. Have a nice day.